Welcome back to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry. This is Blue. This is Monday Quilt Chat. This is where we talk about all the quilty things in my world and in the quilting world in general. And let's hope we have lots to talk about today. I kind of struggled to get some things together in my mind as to what to talk about. I'm not sure how it's all going to come out. There's a lot of stuff in here, but I didn't write anything down like I probably should have, but we'll just see how things evolve in this little chat. So thank you for coming by, and have a seat. Have your tea, coffee, whatever it is you like to drink in the morning, in the evening, or whatever time of day you're watching this video, because just because it's Monday Quilt Chat and it comes out Monday morning in the Eastern Standard Time Zone doesn't mean that it's morning where you are, does it? Blue is wanting to GO somewhere, I don't know. He jumped up from a nap just now, and yeah, you did, and it came over grunting like he does. That's what he does. That means he wants something. You want something, don't you? I think he wants to go back in the house. It could be, but I'm hoping to get another little nap out of him so that I can finish this video for you. We shall see. He's getting pretty fuzzy. You need a haircut? Is it time for a haircut? I think he does have a haircut this week, maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe it's in June. Is June this week? Let's see. What is today's date? Today's date is the 26th. So we still have... Oh, today's a holiday, Memorial Day. So June 1st is Sunday. Okay, well, I thought the 1st of June was going to be in the middle of this week for some reason. But it's not. We still have some time in May. It seemed like May has really went by fast. I know it almost sounds cliche to say a month has went by fast because they all do, but May has really went by fast for me, seems like. I don't know what that's attributed to. I don't know that I can attribute it to anything, but here we are. Memorial Day weekend. It's Sunday right here, right now for me, but as you watch this, it's at the earliest in the week. It's Monday, and I don't know what's going on for me today. Probably just more sewing and quilting, just like nearly every day I do that, don't I? So anyway, it's been cool. It's been coolish. That's why I have a long sleeve shirt on, but I have flip-flops on. So that's what kind of spring we're having over here. It's it has been wet and it has been cool. And we've had some really nice days too lately, in the 70s, low 70s, upper 60s, sunny with big white fluffy clouds. Today it's cloudy, and it's been sprinkling just a little bit off and on, but everything has definitely completely greened out. My neighbor is having some trees taken out, some that have problems. She had one that split in half during the last storm that went through, so she's having some tree work done, and we finally got our gutters on our house. So, and the she shed. The she shed has never had gutters on it, so we went ahead and had them put gutters on the she shed. And so I think the downspouts, they still need to do the downspouts. It's been a slow process, but such is life. Any kind of contract work is so slow. Blue, you are so tired, and you're already bored from my chit-chat. Let's have you sit here. Let's lay down, okay? Can you lay down? Okay, good boy. Good boy. So if you see me in this shirt in the Wednesday video, it's because I filmed it today. So I am way ahead for the week. I have my Wednesday video finished, which is the pick and mix sew along. And we're putting those blocks together, and boy are those fun. And I'm serious. Those are really fun blocks. They really are. So if you're not on the sew along with us out of the American Patchwork and Quilting magazine called Pick and Mix, you should, because these are fun, and a layer cake is just perfect for it. So if you have some pesky layer cakes laying around, this would be a good one to bake up with the pick and mix recipe. So yeah, that's all done, and I'm excited about this little sew along. It's just coming along swimmingly. What else did I do this weekend? Well, hold on just a second. I need to go pick up some stuff off the design wall. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I worked on this weekend. When I left you on Friday, I told you that I was going to get caught up on the Riley Blake Block Design Challenge. Riley Blake Design Block Challenge. I think that's what it is, which is getting close to wrapping up. I was 2 blocks behind, kind of. Maybe just 1 block behind, and then I still had last week's to do, kind of thing. So this was block number 15. And I never do look at the names of them to try to remember what the names of them are. And this is block number 16. So I got to use a feature area of some fabric for that. And I think it turned out cute. And so I'm caught up on that. So this week on Tuesday or tomorrow, I think there's one more block for the center, I think. And then some patchwork we'll have to do. We'll see. And then also, now I'm not going to show you what's in the Sew Sampler box, although I do have it back here. It's not the 30th yet, is it? No, it's only the 26th. I'm not going to show it because they don't want us to show it. I'm just going to show you the sew along pattern. So if you don't want to see the sew along pattern, skip ahead a little bit. But here is the pattern. The sew along for this year is called Flowering, and we already have done 1 block. This is block number 2. It's called This'll Be a Beautiful Day block. So I am using a Riley Blake, kind of a blender type fabric bundle. So mine's kind of plain, but this is Floret. That's what it's called. And I'm just using what I have. So, easy block, nice big 18.5-inch block. And remember the first one was red and greens. And I'm using this, I'm using a variety of these tone-on tones that I got from Sew Yeah. I've got like a great big stack of different ones, but they're all of the same tones, but they're tone-on tones. Like in a, it's not even off-white. It's not gray. It's not off-white. It's definitely not white. It's something in between. So kind of a oatmeal color of background. So it's going to be a very different kind of coloring of quilt that I would ever have done. But that's what I'm doing because it's what I got. So that's that. Let me set this over here. It's big. I don't want to get it all wrinkled up over here on my table. Did I do anything else? I didn't. I don't believe I did. But I feel pretty accomplished to have gotten those 3 blocks done over this weekend. I'm feeling really good that I have that Wednesday video in the can already. So that's that. I think that's all I did with sewing, isn't it? But I do want to tell you that Mark has been putting together his pop beads pattern. So if you're watching his videos, he will have a video sometime this week finishing that up. He's putting the rows together right now. It is so cool. And I hope you've enjoyed the cat stories. He's got some weird cat stories, doesn't he? But the cat themed fabric goes well with the cat story, so I think it turned out pretty cute. We've already got together, we came up with another idea for his next sew along, and this will be more of a, I don't know if it'll be 1 block a week or 1 block a month. I think it's 1 block a week, and they will be pretty basic blocks, but he's going to put that in a setting for you, and I think be able to show you, you know, without coloring them, show you what the blocks and the pattern is going to be, but he will only be releasing a pattern a week. So you won't have all of the instructions all at once, because that's what takes time, really. If you can, you know, get all the instructions for a pattern done, that's most of the work. Designing the block doesn't take long. Usually something just kind of, you know, appears out of your head, moving some squares and triangles around, and all of a sudden you have a block. But writing instructions to make that block is a whole nother thing. So he's hoping that maybe he can get a little bit of a reprieve in how hard he's been working by doing 1 block pattern a week, I think it is. So it has an interesting theme as well. I think this one's really gonna, you're gonna really like this one, I think. So we're trying to get those view hours so that he can get monetized. So we're still working on that. We're still not barely halfway through those, and he's been working awful hard for no no monetary gain for a while now. So anyway, that's what's going on with him. So go over there and make sure you watch all of his videos to get those view hours in, and also to hear some interesting stories, cat stories, if you haven't heard them. If nothing else, just put it in the background. Somebody told me they just put it in the background and let it play while he talks. So, and he has some pretty, you know, not comforting, that's not the word I'm looking for. He has some nice music on there that is kind of everybody can stand. So anyway, that's what's going on. We're both just quilting away over here, sewing away. He's enjoying his new sewing machine, and hope I can use it one day. I have to knock him off of it, I guess. I'd really like to try some bindings on it. There's some in there to do. I still have his ASTRO journey on the long arm that he pinned on. We haven't been able to get to that because he wants to learn how to do the long arm, and I've just been waiting for him to have the time to have me show him how to do it. So it's still on there, and I need to get it off, because you know what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to get the Blues Batiks quilt done. That's what I'm going to do. I've got everything out of the way. Of course, Tuesday I will have the Riley Blake block, whatever that is, to do. But everything else is going to get pushed out of the way so that I can finish that quilt up. It won't take much to finish the top, and then go ahead and throw it on the long arm and bind it and get it out there for auction. So my goal is to get that up by June the 1st. So we shall see. Recent acquisitions. I don't have much of any recent acquisitions to show you. I haven't received the things that I mentioned last week that I fell for, but I did get my Aurifil thread in from Quilt in a Day, and this was back on, I don't even know, May 4th. May 4th is the invoice date on here. They had a sale. Their full-size Aurifils were $13.40 with free shipping. So Their normal price is $15.95, and I think that's Aurifil's suggested retail price. So $13.40, I think it was 20%, 25% off maybe. I don't remember if they advertised a percent off or what it was that caused me to get this, but I thought it was a good deal. But they are $13.40. Now, this 2-pack of gray, it was in a 2-pack, same thing, for $23. So that's 11 and something per spool. That's a really good price. I probably should have got more of these, is what I should have gotten. Now this is good for piecing, and it's also good for free motion quilting if you do that on your standard machine, your domestic. Gray is a good one for that. So I also got a 2021 white and a 2311 muslin. I am currently using, let me see what this is, a 2000, which is similar. It's a little bit more of a buttery color than muslin is, but all of these colors are fine for piecing. So I picked some up. So that was $49.80. So May 4th. Didn't I say May 5th through June 5th was no buy? So far so good. But what also came with that, this was another draw. Each one that you bought, you got beeswax. So I have beeswax for on into the next century, I'm pretty sure, because, you know, it takes a long time to use beeswax, especially if you don't do much hand quilting or hand any kind of sewing. But it is nice to use. So that's all I've gotten in. Now, last week at my Longarm meeting, was that last week or the week before? Someone gifted me some Alaska fabric, and I don't think I showed you that. Hold on. Took me a minute to find it because I forgot where I put it. I hung it up with my panels. But this lady had asked for some fabric that I had some of, and another friend had some of, that she was wanting to do for a donation quilt. So when she said that she was going to Alaska, she asked me if I wanted any fabric from Alaska. And I said, of course I do. Get me a panel or something. But what she did is she got me this yardage. Not sure what I'm going to do with this. But I believe it's Robert Kaufman. Yeah, it is. It's Robert Kaufman. So this is yardage. I think there's a yard of it. But there's 2 repeats in it. So it's kind of like this. That's a panel. And that's it's a repeat is what it is, I think. And then the other one she gave me was a little more specific to a specific area in Alaska. I don't know if this is where she went or what. I'm sure it is. It was, let's see here, Southeast Alaska, and there's all kinds of stuff on this. And I think it's a 1-yard panel is what it is, because is there a repeat on that? No, there's not a repeat. Well, there might be this way a repeat. Yeah. But it runs the other way. So it's pretty cool. Very brightly colored fabric. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but she kindly brought that to me. And that was from Sherry in my Longarm group. Thank you, Sherry, if you're watching. Again, I appreciate it. I'll do something with that. Okay, I have a quilting magazine to go through. Now, this may be a little bit dated, but I picked this up at the Myers grocery store. It says Spring 2025, and it's McCall's Quilting. Cute little vertical pattern there on the front. It says Spring Surprise, Grow a Gorgeous Quilt Garden. So I thought I would run through this with you right quick and see what's in here. See what kind of patterns they have. Here's one called Zen Zone Yoga Mat. Never thought about making a yoga mat out of quilting. Pretty cool. I just like the way it looks. I think it would make a nice vertical banner type quilt, wouldn't it, for your wall? All the instructions there to do that. Here's the one on the cover. It's called Tufted Tulips. Tufted Tulips. Says it's an intermediate, 56 by 66. All the instructions are here for that. Star Meadow. Here's some great big flowers made from star blocks. And a half square triangle border. Bugs in My Daisies. This is a table runner. Looks like applique. Bugs in My Daisies. Cute. That's a nice spring one. Confident Beginner, 20 by 36. Here it is. Well, I can't show you that page. It's got too many things on it. But all the applique templates are in there. Floral Trellis. Floral Trellis. Challenging. It's called Challenging as far as skill level. 71.5 by 92. I can see why they would say it's challenging. Look how those points go over the edges. Interesting. I'm curious about that. Window to the Seasons, Spring. It says, look at the beautiful flowers blooming with color and life. Wall hanging. Skill level intermediate, 34.5 by 34.5. All the templates are in there. Flowers springing up. Like the black background. That's cool. This one is intermediate, 53.75 by 70. It also has templates for those chevrons. Hop Little Bunnies. Make yourself a stylish, comfortable, reversible springtime shell. I don't know about this one, but here's what it looks like on. I could never pull that off. No. This is the picture. Look how short it is. Oh my goodness. It's not very long. It's the skill level is easy. Yeah, I'm not digging it. Not digging it at all. It's a inside out type of thing too, where you turn it inside out and it's finished all the way through. Scrappy Hexies. Scrappy Hexies. I need to show you the full picture of that one. Looks like lifesavers. These are kind of like those doodle blocks that I had on that one video, where you start with an odd shape like a hexagon or polygon or whatever, and then you just put strips around it until you get it at the size that you want, and they just happen to cut them in hexagon shapes. Here's one called Flower Pop. Skill level intermediate, 49 by 19. Polka Dot Posies. Pretty. I like the black and white accents. This one's called intermediate, 62 by 82. Here's what it looks like. This is chocked full of patterns. Magic Garden. Brightly colored green and purple shades. It's called Intermediate 102 by 102. That's big. Alpine Garden. This is cool. Looks like it's made out of Batiks. Colorful. Intermediate. I saw on a show this morning the California poppies. Oh my goodness, they were just painting across this kind of semi-mountainous area where the California poppies, and then there's this little purple kind of, I don't know how to describe it, kind of a vertical looking purple thing sticking up out of them. I don't know what those are, but it was such a beautiful sight to see those California poppies. Blueberry ice. Lots of white background. I can't hardly do quilts like that. I get bored with it. Here's what it looks like. It's a pretty cool star though, and then there's shoe fly blocks in between. I learned my lesson on that harvest dance one that I did that time from Connecting Threads. It had all that negative space in it, and I just got so bored with it, and I actually kind of became a UFO for a minute, and then I finally got it done. But that's everything that's in here. Mostly patterns, and all the templates and things that you need, all the instructions and fabric requirements, everything you need. So I don't get this in the mail. I just happened to pick this one up. I was in there. They have a nice magazine section still at the store that we have. So I checked, and I hadn't gotten this one the last time I was in. When I got those, I think I bought 2 magazines last time I was in there. I didn't get this one, so I picked it up this time and wanted to share it with you. So I think I need to go ahead and get to the quilt of the week. I did all my journaling. Mostly worked on that Peaceful Baskets quilt last week is mostly what I did. Here is the art quilt of the week. I'll put a picture right here. It's called Sunshine Daydream 66 by 62 by Karen K. Stone of Dallas, Texas. This quilt features one of Karen's original designs. While she was working on this quilt, she made use of improvisational machine piecing, hand-dyed and commercial cottons, cotton and silk threads, and wool batting. When it came time to title the quilt, Karen took inspiration from a Grateful Dead song, Sugar Magnolia, for those of you who are wondering. She's shown this quilt in the Dallas Quilt Show and 3 2023 AQS Quilt Week shows. Sunshine Daydream. Yeah, very pretty, modern, brightly colored, and densely quilted quilt. It's very interesting. Sugar Magnolia is the song that she took inspiration from. Very interesting. You know, that's not that hard. That right there. It looks difficult, but it's really not. I think I could pull this off one afternoon. Oh, I couldn't get it all sewn together and quilted, but the design itself is not a difficult one. Just got to get those colors in the right place. So Karen did a great job with this one. And it hung in 3 2023 AQS Quilt Week shows, and that says a lot. So very interesting and inspirational as usual. I need to do another art quilt in the near future of some kind, in my own level of artisticness that I may or may not have. So that is what we have going on for this week. I am going to tear into Blue's Batik quilt and get that done and up for auction. I hope some of you are still thinking about maybe taking some of your quilts that you've made that you've not done a whole lot with. Maybe they're in a closet. You can't even see them, but they're very nice quilts. Maybe a kit or something you spent money on, but you're not displaying in any way, and you don't have anyone you really want to give it to, but it's still a nice quilt. maybe consider putting it up for auction and sending the proceeds directly to the Humane Society. It would be a nice thing to do. I know I've got plenty that I could do that with myself and should be doing that. Maybe this one will spur me to action to get in there and dig through what I have and do that with them. Quilts don't sell very well online, on Etsy, different places that you can sell quilts or try to sell quilts. They just don't sell well. And I don't know what that's about, really. Most of us who make quilts, it's our hobby, and we like creating and doing all of that. But, we give quilts as gifts as we can. And from there, the quilts just kind of stack up. So I have some display cases where I can see a lot of my quilts. But still, those are getting full, and I need to cull some and, maybe do the same thing. So look at your stash of already made quilts and see what you might be able to do as far as an eBay auction or, some sort of sale that you want to do with a quilt where you can send the Humane Society or any organization that you want to support, I guess. The proceeds from the sale of it, however you decide to do it. I like the eBay auction because, nobody's out any money, only the ones that, the person that bought it obviously wanted it, so that's an even exchange. But as far as, raffles and things like that, I'm not too fond of, because people are giving their hard-earned money and not guaranteed anything back. So I just can't do that. But the eBay auction is nice, and you can have the money sent directly to the Humane Society from there. So it just makes it so easy. And I need to go look at my quilts and do some more of that. So maybe you want to think about doing that too, if you're getting stocked up on already made quilts. Alright, that is it for today. Let's get busy in our sewing rooms this week and get some things done. If you want to kind of join along with me and what I'm doing and knocking out an entire project in a week, pull out one of your projects that you haven't finished yet, that if you think you can knock it out this week, let's see if we can knock one out together. That'd be great, wouldn't it? And if not, just sew a little bit each day. Go in there for 15 minutes and poke around and get some things out. Turn that switch on that sewing machine and sew a few seams while you're in there. Alright, have a great week, and I will see you back here on Wednesday for week 3 of the Pick and Mix Sew Along. Alright, have a great one. Bye.